So now we have a theme installed. Hooray. The next thing we need to do is customize that theme a little bit and do some setup stuff. So let's look at what options we get with the themes. Now this is where things start to diverge, because whatever theme you used may have given you different options than the one that someone else used. Every theme has their own set of options, and some of them have none. So there's one thing that you all probably have, and that's under the appearance menu, this customize button. So let's go there first. Now here's the first place where it starts to diverge, because this list of stuff is going to be different for every theme. So I don't have many things here. I have site title and tagline. So that's this stuff. I can change that here. That's already the way I want it. Static front page. This is, we already saw this in the options. This is just another spot we can do it. So that's good. And I'm going to leave it as post just because I don't have any pages yet. And the widgets, the sidebar widgets, that's all this stuff over here. We'll look more at widgets shortly, but this just says what's going here. So the first thing they're putting in that area, so the sidebar is the name of the area, the rectangle, if you will. First thing they're putting there is a search, and then recent posts, and then recent comments. So things like recent comments, I'm definitely not going to want. So I can click on this little arrow, and then hit remove. I can hit archives. I'm probably not going to want that. I'm going to hit remove, and they go away. Categories, let's get rid of that one too. And let's get rid of this meta. This meta thing is really like, if you're going to let people log into your site and all that kind of stuff. We're not going to, so let's remove it. Okay. So now I just have a search and recent post. I'll probably get rid of that recent post too, but we can do that later. We can also add widgets here, but I'm going to hold off on that until we look more at widgets later. So for now, we got a couple things over there. So we've cleaned up that sidebar a little bit, and that's good. So let's hit save and publish. Okay, now let's close this window. So that's all I have. You might have more options there, and that's great. So now look back over in your dashboard menu, and when you installed this theme, it probably installed some other stuff all over the place. That's what themes do. They install the files it needs, but it also it can tuck little features all over your site. So you might have gotten some new menu items popping up over here. There might be something new down here maybe, or mixed in with this other stuff. That can happen. If it does, look at it, see what it is. For me, this particular theme that I'm using, this point one, added this theme options button here. So you may or may not have this. But this theme has this theme option, so I'm going to look at it. Okay, so this is all custom stuff that came with this particular theme. And there's a whole bunch of stuff here, and this is great. So first thing they're trying to do is sell me more themes, which is great. I'm not interested in that. So I'm going to go to general settings here. Okay, so logo image. I can add a logo image. Footer logo image. Let's see what that might be. This is the footer, the stuff at the bottom. So maybe it's going to put a logo right there, maybe, or something like that. Favicon. A favicon is this little thing here. This little image that happens here. It's like super tiny. You can see in the Slam Academy sites, I already have a favicon set up for the Slam Academy sites because they show up in these little tabs. This Mojo Market one has one. This Bluehost has its right there. So that's what the favicon is. It's that little tiny icon that shows up. Like in a lot of browsers, if you bookmark a page, it holds on to the favicon so you can see them. It probably has that for me. Like if I go to my Google folder, these are all favicons. So I can change that. I can make that. Here's a little link to help you make one, because it is a little tricky. It's a 16 by 16 pixel image. That's a little tiny. Header code, we'll talk more about that later. Copyright text, you can get rid of their copyright text if you want. Some other stuff. Okay, that's all fine. Let's hit save. So I got rid of this theme by My Theme Shop, I think. If I refresh the page, yeah, now it just says copyright 2014 J. Anthony Allen. Great. I can add more stuff there if I want. Let's see what else we have. Styling, images, primary color scheme. So if I click on this box, it gives me a nice thing. So I could say, I want it to be like dark. Let's see what that's going to do. Now if I make this dark, I'm going to have a problem because my text is also dark, but let's do it and see what happens. Layout, so the layout, I have two options for this. It says you can have the big rectangle on the left or the big rectangle on the right. I'm going to stick with on the left. Background color, let's say I can change this to like a gray. I'm going to change it to a totally white theme. Background image, you can add a background image here that'll be an image that goes across the whole back of it. But I caution you against this. It's not a really great idea because it makes a lot of clutter, and so it makes the design really hard to do. It also slows down the page loading speed. It makes it load really slow. So that's not a great thing to do. A solid color is much better. Custom CSS, we'll talk more about that soon. And responsiveness, that's the size changing for like iPhones and iPads and stuff like that. So let's change that. I made a couple modifications to the color. Let's just see what it does. If I refresh the page, okay, now I've got this really black on white with these gray bars in here too. And you know, I'm not a huge fan of like wild colors, so I'm kind of digging this. So I'm gonna go with it. Okay, single posts, tag links, related posts. So there's just a lot of stuff here. Ad management, if I want to put ads on it. Navigation, how I want to deal with menus. We'll talk more about menus shortly. We'll deal with menus. Then import, export if I want to export the whole shebang. So most of the stuff I want is in the styling options window. So these are customizations that we can make to our theme. Yours might be in a theme options button here. It might be all in this customize button. It might be in another menu link down here. It could be hidden. I've seen it before hidden in these settings menu. So there's a new thing that pops up in the settings menu. That could happen. Even tools, although I kind of doubt it. But it could be there. So look at all those places and see if there's something that's shown up anywhere. And then have a look at it. Do some of the customization. Change the colors. Change the banners, the headings, the logos, all that stuff. So we're basically still just on a shell of a website because we don't have any content in it, but it's starting to come together, right? Like I've got rid of this stuff. I got the colors kind of a little bit more hipper to me. I just need to fill it in with content yet. Okay, so poke around. Get those settings all set up. Oh, and it's also possible that you don't have anything. It's possible that you just have a really simple theme and they don't give you any extra options. There's probably still this customize button in there where you've got a couple options, but there might not be a lot. And that's okay. That just means you either don't have control over some of those fine things, and if you want that kind of control, you might just have to look for a different theme. Or it means that you do have control, but you got to go into the code and do it, and that's going to be ugly, so you might want to find another theme. Either way, it's fine. Just see what the theme has. That's all. Okay, let's move on.